are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a thirsty Thursday, the Barnes and Tony Show. Once again, January 2nd, 2025. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Great night last night in the gaming corner, dude. You said it, 2025. I don't think it really has hit me yet, dude. But hey, man, pumped Thursday, weekend around the corner, week, yes, flying by, the holidays, crazy, you're in at work, you're out of the mode, what's going on? And the Rangers game tonight, which also, again, what's going on?
And then the Rangers game tonight that I am going to have to, like, get a VPN to watch,
Oh,
like,
yep.
the optimum.
Yeah, but what's going on,
But then again,
dude?
like, what's going on, Igor?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically just a mess out there. Have you mentioned about, like, kind of getting back in the swing of things. Was there a run this morning?
No run this morning. Late night here, dude.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was at Mohegan last night, so I didn't get a chance to really tune in. But I just noticed, I looked at my phone, and then it said you guys were still live, and it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. What?
No, literally, like we pushed 4 hours on the stream last night, dude.
Wow.
Red Dead Redemption. You ever play?
No, and you were explaining it to me yesterday, but refresh me again.
It's the same people, like the same company that made GTA, so it plays the same exact way. You're just in the Wild West.
Wait, so you're like, are you on like a horse
yes.
with a big, what's the hat called? Is it a sombrero or not really a sombrero? It's a cowboy hat.
Yeah. They have
Do you have one, a cowboy hat?
I do not own one. No,
like
it's
I
not
thought
really...
like Tony in costume. Like,
no, I don't know
I'm
about the
surprised
cowboy.
You never had, I am questioning that there's not one time you put on a cowboy hat at like some themed party at Shoe, like, oh, we're getting hammered, like.
No, never a cowboy, dude. Never the cowboy.
You seem very like. Is it because McConaughey puts it on at the Texas sideline?
It's just not really my thing. I'm not like a country music guy. I'm not like a country guy. I just can't, Like,
now, but would you wear it at the Red River Rivalry?
Yeah, I would. I would wear one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would. Like, I'd dress up, but it's not. I don't know.
But you would be hesitant, like at the game, in Austin, to put the hat on, or no, because it's Austin, so you'd feel more comfortable in doing so.
I don't know. I mean, kind of like it seems kind of touristy, I would be a little like, oh, like is that like,
No, because I've had a couple conferences in Austin, and people like were wearing the hats, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of am on the thought of you that is kind of, for lack of a better phrase, a little chief.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For some reason, you just struck me as somebody to be like, oh, dude, I'll have a couple Peronis, put one on. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I probably would now. I probably wouldn't be drinking Peronis in a cowboy.
No. What is it? Lone Star is the beer out there?
Yeah, Lone Star is their beer.
No, it's funny. That's like their shit beer.
Yeah,
but we like, because Pooch used to live out there for a little bit, and we thought it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like their cheap beer.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. Hell yeah.
But Austin is a good place.
Great place.
For sure. But I was mentioning this too when Renee was talking to us before the show. Isn't it this time too like such a weird like time period, especially like during the week, and then tonight no Thursday night football, kind of just college on, one NHL game last night. I mean, I know we got the playoffs coming up, but then it's like week 18 this weekend. A lot of games don't matter.
Yeah.
Very, very kind of peculiar, no?
Yeah, I would say very peculiar. And it is why. Is it because of college football there's no NFL, or is it just because it's week 18 and because the whole Christmas schedule is crazy?
Yeah. I think they like want to like let teams not
reset.
Yeah, and then also not give an unfair advantage going into the playoffs. People have extra rest Thursday night football, but people have extra rest because of the Saturday games.
True.
But I guess you'd have even more, in that regard. So yeah, kind of interesting for sure, but still a lot going on. And I have to say, I am excited. I almost forgot about it, but then for some reason it clicked back in my head as I was walking up the stairs to the studio this morning. Is the coverage at Kapalua later,
dude.
and then
Yeah,
have it
dude.
side by side with the Sugar Bowl, which we know will be at 4, which we'll talk about in a second, and then the lead into the Rangers on the illegal stream and the bowl game between Duke and Ole Miss.
What? Yeah. So what's the? Is there any update from Optimum or like anything
I
at all?
haven't
Dude?
seen anything. I just saw like in the TCA chat, someone, I think James was talking about it. But yeah, I know for me, because I have ESPN Plus, I could just do the VPN and then watch it from that.
Okay, that's not bad.
But
yeah.
it's
So,
just like ridiculous. I had to get a VPN to watch the game.
yeah.
Like,
So what do you do to get a VPN? Like
it's like an app, and you could get like a free trial, or if you even have to subscribe, it's what is it going to be, $5 a month? And I actually might need it too because I got my trip coming up, so we usually need that to stream anything out of the country. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's like so. Netflix, for instance.
Yeah, dude. When I'm out of the country, it's a real
You've never
bother,
went out of the
dude.
country one time. Never went to Mexico.
Oh no, I've been out of the country many times.
Oh,
dude.
so then why are you saying
this morning
that,
I was out of the country?
Oh my god. When was the last time actually though?
The last time I was out of the country, oh jeez. It's a great question. I guess maybe Ireland,
And when was that?
2019, maybe.
But isn't it so? I get the rights and everybody needs their royalties, like Mr.
Right.
Wonderful. But it is ridiculous. Like I subscribe to Netflix. If I go to Mexico and I'm in my hotel room, I should be able to watch it. Just because I'm in Mexico doesn't take away from the fact that I paid for the monthly subscription.
Yeah, it's bogus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pisses me off, honestly.
Yeah, no, they like, it's a scam, dude. Honestly.
Yeah. I had to do that last year too to watch like the playoff games. And then it's like, I don't know. It's just like this annoying process, basically, is what I'm saying. And I think it was for baseball, but they should just do this for all sports. I think they're considering lifting the blackout restrictions on, like, whether it's, MLB at bat or, the
NFL ticket or whatever.
ESPN Plus. Yeah, which I think makes sense. I guess they just have to figure out again with the royalties how to like disperse those so everybody gets their cup.
Yeah, dude. I mean, people are going to be very like, angsty about making sure that they get their cup, you know?
Yeah. Unbelievable, really.
But I mean, I guess, whatever. Dude. It's talk about precarious situation with that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
who gets what and when?
Value of the dollar. I always say it.
Kind of crazy, dude.
Speaking of kind of crazy, I think Michael Butka is in the building.
Looks like he is, dude. Happy New Year, guys. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. Really tired from that New Year's Eve party.
Have a hangover.
Have a hangover. What were you drinking?
He must
Who
say,
were you
how many do you
partying,
think for
dude?
Michael Butka on New Year's Eve? How many do you think? I'm going to say 5 or 6.
That's it, really?
Yeah.
I don't know,
At the
man.
Horseshoe, I don't remember him having more than like 1 or 2, right?
No, but New Year's,
You think
special
he
occasion.
really turned
10.
it up?
10.
10 spot. Wow.
Yeah,
I don't know
dude.
if I could stand up being in his presence with a 10 spot. With Snow
Snow
White,
White.
on the screen. I don't know.
Oh, forget about
Risky
it, dude.
business.
Risky business. And he wants your thoughts, Brian, specifically on the Liam McNeely
Well,
injury,
I'm
dude.
glad you brought this to my attention because this was on one of the smaller screens when I was watching at the sportsbook yesterday. UConn, which we'll talk about, did win over DePaul. But I looked it up after I saw you mention that in the comments, and I guess they're going to do an MRI. And Hurley is hopeful that just a sprain, so just one of those things. If he misses a couple games, it's okay. And their next game is against Tony's favorite team, the Providence Friars on Sunday. So
Oh.
I think he'll be okay if he misses that one. They've been struggling. So I know Tony's been cheesing about
The
that.
Friars have been?
7-6.
Really? You don't think they're like licking their chops a little bit at this, though? Like, oh, McNeely's out. let's
No,
go.
I mean, UConn could miss their whole starting 5, and I think they would have a good shot to beat the Friars. Honestly. It's just a whole nother level of competition. And one of the people was saying, remember when we were at the Horseshoe, that guy was talking Providence Friars last time.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. Not the guy talking ball,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it was his friend, right?
Yeah.
And you were talking to him, I think, too.
I was talking before the show.
I forgot his name. 'Cause I know Max is talking ball, right?
Yeah, Max was the one talking ball. It wasn't Brian. That was, I think, a guy from
We
different
would have
league.
remembered that one.
Yeah. Freddie?
Freddie, I don't know. There's not too many Freddies
Freddy's,
these
yeah.
days, right?
Frederick?
Or no?
Yeah, no, definitely not, dude.
I'm not kidding. I never had a Freddie, like growing up, school, anything. What about you?
Oh, in school, definitely not, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Like Freddie, like it seems to be like somebody who's 65,
Yeah,
70
yeah.
years old. Freddie. What else we got here?
Michael Buckner also says Disneyland's going to be a very it's going to be a very special guest this year.
Going to be getting a very special guest this
Oh,
year.
like himself.
Or do you
him.
think he's talking about his girlfriend, Snow White?
Well, I mean, she's that kind of resides in Disney. Though. She's not really a guest.
The character breakfast.
Oh
my god! Like, how much would you need to be paid to sit through a character breakfast with Michael Butka, Snow White sitting like you're sitting next to the two of them?
I'm not even lying, dude. Like, I would sit there for free. Okay. And then Josh B says, "What up, fam?" He sent me the video of him deep frying the turkey after the show yesterday,
dude. I was talking to him on
dude.
Discord on the way to Mohegan yesterday. He mentioned that.
Dude, the fucking glove that goes up to your forearm, the slow, like, whatever, descent into the oil. He was doing it right, dude. It looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's Josh B. He tends to take it up a notch, no matter what it is.
And then Matthew Gabriel says, "Here we go, Boyski." He says,
that's a new one out of him. I feel like, right?
Yeah, right. I would say so. At least that first time in a long time, at least.
Yes,
Boyski, dude. And then he says, not he, but my mother says, "Hi, fellas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year."
And then Michael Theophil says, 2 beers, Bukta is a lightweight. And then he says, Tony's boyfriend. Michael Buckta?
I guess, or is he? No. Is he talking about the person that was at the horseshoe? Maybe because he was saying that because you were talking to him a lot.
Oh yeah,
no, but
dude,
right.
Yeah,
I'm saying I'm thinking.
No, yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah,
saying,
you're probably right. Josh B says he appreciates all of us, dude.
And Josh B, back at you,
I
brother.
appreciate you, dude. 2025.
And then he says Freddie.
Freddie Coleman. Freddie Coleman.
Well, I don't.
No, I'm saying for a Freddie. Maybe he's thinking like for a Freddie that he knows, dude.
But again, I mean, maybe he's not 65, but he's probably 57, right?
Yeah, I'm sure you can ballpark it around there. Yeah, looks great.
And then he says the person at the horseshoe, LOL. Yes, Barnes, you get it. So talking about being right on top of it, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, spread rumors, whatever, dude.
Wow, sounds like there's a little animosity here, Tony.
It sounds like he's a little jealous, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, I was like just, chatting up people at the horseshoe, setting up. People want to talk to me. What's the show doing,
I thought you were going to say, I'm just a sociable guy. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that too, dude. Very sociable guy.
I want to give you first pick here, Tony, because I know you have your affinity for the college ranks, but obviously, there's some NHL to talk about too.
Oh.
I want to leave it up to you. What do you want to do first?
I guess let's do hockey first.
Let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle, great hit, Kelly. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink Washington made the full split save. Are you kidding me? Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So a little light on the docket in terms of the National Hockey League last night. The lone game coming from Crypto.com as we saw the Kings shut out the Devils 3-0. I was on the right side of that one last second. Put the bet in.
Here we go, dude.
The Devils back-to-back, New Year's, hungover. And
you
also... I find myself once again, Tony, like impressed with this Kings team. Darcy turning the clock back, 33 saves in the shutout. The Kings, Tony, now 22-10-5, including a very impressive 13-2-1 mark at home. I mean, it seems like they are winning these games against top competition like the Devils.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we spoke about it yesterday, and I'm glad you're finally coming on to the train.
Yes, I was so excited before, but going to the game, like but that's why I always say with you, kind of, I know, the camera, camera work, but you have to be at MSG, and you need to be a fucking patron, Tony. You can't be a cameraman, okay? It's a different experience.
Really?
Because Hamid. Yeah, because you're not Hamid. I'm not
kidding. Whatever, dude. We'll see. Hey, listen, take me to a game. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
Are they playing at Providence?
No, they're actually too bad. It's on Sunday.
Sunday, horseshoe.
Otherwise, right?
Yeah.
But I have to check. Maybe it's a high noon game. Get back the setup. get hammered.
Oh my God. Yes, Brian. To go back to the Kings here, they played a great game. Again, I know we talked about the back-to-back and tough schedule for the Devils. Joke around getting hammered, but I mean, it clearly did affect them. I mean, Devils obviously are a great team. They get shut out here. I think speaks to not only, like you were saying, the level of the Kings play, but also that schedule they just went through was really tough. I don't think I've honestly ever seen that where a team plays on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Oh yeah,
back to back.
That's right. Because usually the Rangers it's staggered. I'm sure that's kind of what you're thinking about, right?
Yeah. And then especially the standalone game being the Winter Classic. Normally they definitely make sure those two teams don't play the day before.
Yeah.
So very, very odd. But nonetheless, here the Kings play a very, very simple form of defense. Very fundamental, and they kind of stick to that, don't stray from that. And I was speaking on Quinton Byfield recently, and to see him come around the goal, yesterday on 2 shots there, and then you have some obvious veteran players leading this team. I mean, it does make for kind of a perfect storm, but obviously just begs the question on what they're going to do in the playoffs. Because I mean, this has been really ever since the Kings won the Cup. I guess they've kind of been in this situation where they're doing good in the regular season. And the best they do is they just either miss the playoffs or first round knockout sort of deal. So it should be interesting to see, what else they can kind of, I guess, capture here this season. But right now, they're playing well. And definitely, Darcy Kemper would be a big part of their playoff push. Obviously, a man who has experience hoisting, the Stanley Cup. So, we'll see what happens as LA, I guess, prepares to, I think, go on a road trip, I think.
No, they're going to be hosting the Lightning on Saturday and the Flames. So, actually, 2 more games at home.
Wow.
Then the road trip to actually Canada. They're going to hit up the Jets, the Flames, the Oilers, and the Canucks, and then go to Seattle.
Wow,
so
dude. So
that's
they got
rigorous
a
road
good
trip.
5 games coming up, dude. Michael, good morning, dude. Yes.
Getting a chuckle.
From the boys, the legends. Yes, dude.
And I was just kind of going to ask you, I mean, you look at this game, Lee had his first goal of the year, Byfield his 9th, and then Kempe his 18th on the empty netter. But when you look at them, I mean, it seems like, the way he's playing, I don't know if he started the year as the full-time goalie, but obviously he's grown into that, or I guess he's been splitting with Rittich, it looks like, but he's outplaying him. But so it seems like they're okay in net. Is it kind of like what I always talk about with the Rangers, that they need that guy, and that is what they're going to need in terms of playoffs, getting to the next level.
In terms of their goal scorer, that guy they need.
Because it seems like the defense is pretty good, no?
Yeah, defense is very good. Again,
the gritty goals.
Yeah. No, the defense comes, like I said, they play a very simplistic, fundamental, defensive structure. That kind of obviously, just it makes it tough for teams to get their forecheck going, enter the zone. It's going to be interesting again. And I guess we're at the end of the day. I don't know, man. For me, maybe this is, I'm sure, people who watch the show know this, but I always kind of lean more so on a better goaltender rather than getting that guy offensively. Mm-hmm. I think if you can figure out, a way to stop a team's offense, you can end up figuring out a way to score. And honestly, dude, I think, for that, I guess if they really want to, Darcy's going to be their guy. They're going to go out and get another goaltender. But, I guess adding more offense wouldn't hurt. But I think a lot of it has to do with what their young guys are going to be doing in the playoffs. Where's Quinton Byfield going to be? He's going to be, looked at as someone who's making his kind of turnaround year, because he was a first-round draft pick by the Kings, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. He's still young, right?
Yeah, still relatively young, but hasn't really had that breakout year. Has been kind of almost labeled as a bust the first couple of years, but has been kind of coming around.
22.
Yeah, exactly. So he has time to develop.
6th year in the league. Or no, 5th year in the league.
Fifth year in the league.
But last year, 20 goals, 35 assists, 55 points.
Yeah, that was huge.
Horrible, right?
Was he drafted by LA? Does it say he was?
We were talking about this. Yes, he was.
He was.
Okay,
good. Yeah, second overall pick. I thought so. So again, if he has that explosive standout year, especially if it comes in the playoffs, that's gonna be huge for them, because certain guys like Kopitar, Kempe obviously will be showing up. It should be interesting to see too. I know Drew Doughty, who's their Iron Man defenseman, broke his ankle
Oh, so he's been out.
He's been out for a while, and it's great to see that they're still winning games and shutting out good teams without him. But I think they're going to need him in the playoffs, dude, because he was. I mean, he's the one. He beat the Rangers in the Cup final. Like he's been literally on the team forever. Probably over 1,100 games probably.
It's weird. Has he not played at all this year?
No, I don't. I'm trying to think. I believe he broke his ankle either in the off season or like preseason.
Okay, Drew Doughty.
Yeah. No, literally, I don't think he's maybe
he
a couple games, right? He hasn't at all.
Yep.
Which is again like for them to be having the record they have now.
3 months ago, month to month after surgery.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So obviously that's tough, but if they end up getting him back, I think that they maybe better off adding defensive depth maybe. But we'll see. I guess as the Kings go on, I think maybe this road trip will be a good litmus test.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems like I know it's like who is the guy,
right?
But and I know they already have a bunch of old guys, but I would say like why not get like a Jonathan Marchessault or something? I feel like that could really boost the scoring because I think I know that Doughty's been out a while, he's older, whatever, but I think that the defense has been doing well, and that's why Darcy has been playing probably his best, in net since he won the Cup with Colorado.
Yeah, no, I guess so. I mean, you're probably not wrong there. And I mean, we've seen, speaking of Colorado, I mean, not for nothing, like Darcy was seen as like probably, which I guess doesn't really say much, but their weakest point of the team.
Even though he played outstanding.
Even though, he still played great. Just that team was just so elevated. So, I guess we'll see what happens though.
What do you think about Matthew Ryan tight because the Devils got shut out, back-to-back losses, and now he's kind of going after us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's just him being tight, I guess, right? I mean, there's really nothing else around that. Barnes, Devils own the Rangers. Rangers suck. Kings suck. Devils are Rangers daddies. All right,
3 in a row, by the way.
It is 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
Listen, dude. Obviously, Devils are having a good year. So what are you gonna say, really? I guess. But they did. I mean, they got shut out last night. But yes, the tough schedule. I don't know why Matthew Ryan's is coming at. I mean, not for nothing. We've been very. I feel like almost empathetic towards their situation. The Devils, that is.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck, Matt? You wake up and chose violence, dude. That's fine. But then you know what, dude?
Suck it, Matthew
How about
Ryan.
that, dude?
And I just think too, he still doesn't get, and obviously, I mean, sure, he's getting a chuckle or whatever you want to call it out of what the Rangers are going through right now, but he doesn't understand that. More than likely, maybe it won't reach the depths that the Rangers are in right now, but there's going to be a tough stretch, and this could be the start of it with the 3 straight losses.
Exactly, dude. Could be a tough stretch. You never know, dude. Your goaltending situation still could be up in the air. I guess Mark's doing a great job, though. But still, regardless, you could be injured, out, limping, gone, head coach fired. See you later, Matthew.
Dude, it's so crazy. These tickets.
Injured Cub.
For the game tonight, I think when I originally looked, they were like $250 or something. They're down to $150.
Wow, dude.
But for one of the tickets, there's like a couple available. But Game Time always has, those like random deals.
Domac hit me up to go to a game. Because I guess his friend had tickets to go with whoever, but it wasn't working out. So now she got these tickets.
Like his friend.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, and I think that she is his friend.
But you said it wasn't working out. Like the tickets, the game, or like it wasn't working out like with her.
With her, but not him, not Domac, like another guy. Like she is his friend, and she whatever.
Gotcha.
And
so now you're making excuses for him that he couldn't seal it, like Riley with Bartago.
Oh my god. I forget when the game is, dude. But it's I think it's Rangers Caps.
Caps.
And dude, it's so funny because I was like, oh, dude, this is sick. I can surprise Brian, like with tickets, whatever. They're like level 100, and then it's like like over $300 a ticket she wants.
Really?
Which is what they're worth. But
did you look at Game Time? I'm just curious.
Oh no, I haven't looked.
Watch Schneister. I'm telling you. I'm gonna say 2.25. Let's see. So this game is what month is it in?
I think it's in January, dude. I can look back at the text. Now it could be wrong. Maybe it's February.
Because it's the Capitals, you said, right?
Yeah. Let's see what got going on.
Dude, I don't even see anything in February.
Really? Let's see.
Oh, it's March 5th. Okay. So let's see here. So
I don't even have the date for it.
226. I told you.
Section 104.
I mean, it's 112, but I mean that's a big discrepancy. But you said section what?
104, row 11.
104. Okay, let's see. 104. We'll do the map. And that is sitting. Okay, so actually, this is actually close to where I'm sitting for St. John's. Okay, what you said, row 11.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I guess those ones for whatever reason, because actually row 13 on here is 385. But kind of crazy the discrepancy at 2.25, 100 level. I mean, what's the difference? What 100 level you are, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I guess you're just closer. I mean,
No,
it's,
but
it's 8 rows, right? It's 8 or
No, but
or you're more
these-
middle. Maybe you're more middle.
Wait, let me actually look at
Are
this
you more
again.
middle? 104.
Because no, 104 is like, so you know how like where you would just kind of walk into the garden and then like, you know, you have the far side of the basket. It's you like from the entrance.
Far side of
you know
the
where
basket,
so you're
Brian?
facing. It's like if you when you're facing the court, if you turned around, you'd be the street of the main entrance.
Yes,
you know
yes.
what
Yeah,
angle I'm
yeah.
talking about. So 104 is like over here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's
To
kind of
the
like
right.
that angled
Yeah.
view. So I
Almost
guess from
like
where
what we
were
had. Yeah,
sitting,
yeah.
but over
Yeah.
a
more
couple
over,
sections.
Yeah. Where were we in that section? 111.
You know what's actually interesting? I can actually look that
can
up.
tell you
But
right now,
first,
dude.
okay, so 112, row 22. So the difference with these seats are this is the straight on view.
Yeah,
And it would be row 22. So obviously further back.
Right.
But
Those seats were so sick.
and yes, so our seat was Jets at Rangers. You're talking about the Jets game, right? Yeah.
Yes, correct. That's the game we went to.
120, row 15.
20. Wow,
120.
dude. Okay.
Seats
Keep that
4
in
and
mind.
5. Igor's wife.
The room, dude. Yeah. None of the wives
her
were in attendance, dude.
friends.
Yeah. Stupid.
Michael K. lurking from somewhere
Oh
in the area,
my
right?
god, dude, that's so funny.
Oh man.
But yeah, dude, I think she had 320
Snyster, I
each,
told you,
dude.
though. She's-
a little bit, dude.
Yeah, come on.
Well, we'll see. You know, maybe when we get closer to puck drop, you know, maybe we should be like, you know, sort of deal.
I'll send her a screenshot. Again.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I don't care
I don't-
different
okay,
sections, 100
dude.
level. I'll get these
Yeah.
tickets. You don't want to?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But speaking of the Rangers, and unfortunately, you know, that's been a sore subject recently. I know, but the Igor, the IR, I believe an upper body,
Upper body, yep.
scenario, Tony. Any type of timeline or the typical, like, nondescript, and it could be weeks, it could be months. We don't know. Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, I think right now it's just like a day-to-day, typical nondescript. I can double check to see if anything updates were
Molly Wire.
out there, but yeah, obviously I'll check it, her Twitter feed. But as far as I can tell from yesterday, from my extensive research, as an NHL insider, Brian, it seems like that the upper body injury, they're pointing to the collision that Igor had
Against the Panthers?
Against the Panthers, yeah. I forget who was rushing to the net, but it got hit into Igor pretty harshly. And obviously Igor finished the game, but looked like that could be a scenario where he does get banged up, and maybe just precautionary right now. It's just like, let's put him on day to day. We have Quick in here. He's good. He's what he's here for. So I would anticipate, nothing crazy. Hopefully.
Would you know what the minimum stay is on IR?
No, I don't. Let's look it up. Minimum. 7 days.
Oh, okay. So at least that's solid.
Yeah, they can still participate in non-competitive events like practice and meetings.
And I was just seeing here. So Domingue has only made one start with the Rangers, but he won 25 of 26 last year.
25-26. Igor ready to go to work for Rangers. Oh, Jonathan Quick ready to go to work. That's great. Hope
Yeah,
that, dude.
Quick will start tonight.
I mean, he's the fucking man. I'm not worried
Yeah,
about him,
but
dude.
the thing is, I mean, isn't it like with the defense? And I don't know if you showed me this or I just saw it on Twitter, but basically they're saying there are just certain players, unnamed players, that have like completely given up on the organization, and they expect them to be off the team soon. I don't know who they would be. Like, do you think it's like a Mika and Kreider situation?
Yeah.
Weird with Kreider. It seems like such betrayal.
It does seem like such a betrayal. But then again, I mean, I don't know, man. You really don't know what's going on inside this locker room. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like there's such like a
Well,
question.
like I
mark
said,
there.
I know it seems like a joke,
Yeah.
and but I really feel like there was some type of affair, honestly, with some player and somebody's wife.
Laviolette's wife?
Not Laviolette. Dude.
No, why not?
No, I mean it does seem just kind of crazy that it's like that you'd fall apart this this hard, and then the fact too, like somebody like Kreider, who who has been there for so long, you would think he would take pride in being a Ranger and wanting to be a part of the team that finally, snaps the curse. We know who won't be a part of that team, and that's Matthew Ryan. He says Igor is bye-bye, LOL. Jonathan Quick sucks. So very, very, a lot of animosity as of Matthew Ryan this morning.
Yeah, again, I mean, I said it earlier. He woke up and chose violence today. That's fine if he wants to be negative in 2025. You want to bring that in, whatever, dude. But at the end of the day, I mean, Igor is not going anywhere, and if anything, Matthew, I mean, he's been the only person who's really living up in terms of his level of play. So it's like, what the hell, dude? Not for nothing. And then Jonathan Quick doesn't suck, dude. Although it's interesting, I just saw that stat in the article here. Shout out to Larry Brooks. Jonathan Quick hasn't had back-to-back starts since April 12th and 13th of 2022.
2022?
When he played for the Kings, dude, which is kind of ridiculous if you think that's kind of wild.
You think they'll stagger him with Domingue?
I don't think they'll need to, dude. And not for nothing, you're gonna have 7 days. So what is that? 3 games, maybe 4 games.
Oh yeah, because they play Saturday and Sunday.
They do Saturday and Sunday, right?
That's a heavy slate. That's 3 and 4 days.
So obviously, like Domingue is getting worked in, but you still would imagine Jonathan takes 2 of those. Still, obviously back to back, you're not gonna make him step.
But I feel like I don't know. I know. I guess like I'll check, but I think his like minor league hockey numbers aren't that great. But I just feel like when he's gotten the call in the NHL, like he steps up.
Let's look at some NHL game logs here, dude. But no, I would think honestly, just from what I've seen from him, I would agree, dude. Career here, by the way, he's 60-60 in his career, 2 shutouts, 3.02 goals against,
batting
5 save
percentage.
Hartford
this year.
Over 143 games
3.64.
played. Really? Yikes,
4-9 with an 888 save percentage. But the previous 2 years, 266, 251 with a save percentage over 9.
All right. That's
but you think it's like he just wants to get called up? Maybe the team there is quitting as well.
I doubt that the Hartford
Wolfpack
are quitting. So I don't know, man. But I guess we'll see. I mean, you're gonna have to start him. So
yeah, I'm actually honestly excited to see it.
Yeah, me too, dude. I mean, again, like you said, he has come up in big moments,
in the playoffs,
in unexpected moments too. So he has that in his back pocket, I suppose. So I guess we'll see what happens.
But I think what I was saying, I was going to mention this, and then I read the Matthew Ryan comment.
That's ridiculous, by the way. They're not overrated. Like they're being regarded as like one of the worst teams right
in
now,
the league.
dude.
Yeah,
so,
right
like,
now.
Get the fuck out of here, Matthew. You're overrated.
Do you think though? Is there only so much Quick can do? Because I was thinking like, maybe because we've seen actually, I'm pretty sure in this matchup within the last couple of years there was like a 1-0 game. The Rangers won. I think it was a Saturday ABC game. I don't know why I remember this. Obviously Igor played for that one, but do you think like he can pitch a shutout, or is it like his defense is just playing so bad like it's not even on the table?
I think he's always on the table with Jonathan Quick, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing. We've seen. Last year Rangers defense did go through spurts of struggling. So, and even when he started and he had shutouts. So I mean, it's certainly possible, especially against a team like the Bruins, for example, that sometimes struggle to score. Obviously, you want to watch out for their usual suspects, but I wouldn't think it's out of Jonathan Quick's realm, dude.
Yeah, it feels like he's due for one. Obviously, the Rangers could use
the
one.
prop bet. Come on, dude.
It's just a question of is it really going to happen?
I bet it'd pay out pretty handsomely.
Yeah, I mean, even taking the Rangers, you would think would pay out pretty handsomely. I guess right now,
throw a couple shekels up there. Could be a nice payday.
This must have changed because I saw that they were getting good plus money, but now it's saying that they're minus 115, the favorites in this game.
Really?
How is that?
No way. It says minus 120 right here.
For Boston, Rangers even.
Rangers even.
That's so weird. I'm looking at the same exact thing and it's different.
Really?
Yeah, on like the game page.
I just refreshed it and it changed.
But what do you think? It's their due thing, and that's why like the odds are changing.
Oh yeah, minus 105, minus 115 now. I guess people are just betting. I mean, people are betting the Rangers, I guess, right? That's why the line would change. So.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you think they're just banking on they're gonna win eventually.
I guess so.
But it's like I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like, it's just not that the Bruins have been playing great, but it just
No,
you're
they
not like
haven't been, but
Rangers
still
have been
Rangers,
playing.
6 goals in the past 4 games.
I mean, you look at this last 4 games, 8 and 19-6. They've been outscored.
Not great, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, how would you characterize your optimism, though, heading into this one, honestly?
Characterize my optimism as, like, I don't know, a flip of the coin. Because I just feel like, regardless, honestly, of these two teams and how they're playing right now, it's always, obviously a historical matchup, the rivalry, almost like an NFL divisional game over here. So, I don't know, they always have a competitive game, and it really is always a toss no matter how good the Rangers are or how bad the Bruins are, or vice versa, So, that's why I would say 50-50 shot, and I mean, I guess people are thinking that they're due for a win. They are due for a win. I did say that game against the Panthers, some of the best hockey the Rangers have played, and certainly against a team like the Bruins that, like many other teams around the league can't really hold a candle to the Panthers. You would imagine if the Rangers play like they did against them, that they would be the Bruins. So I can see that, and I think maybe, people are jumping on the, Jonathan Quick getting riled up train as well.
Yeah, because it seems like he's a guy that he's not quitting. He's probably like really embracing this opportunity to get a couple more starts than he normally would.
I mean, this is, again, like I said it before, I mean, this is literally why you have Jonathan Quick, because he has that mentality, that flip of the switch where he can just dial in, he can focus up, and he has a championship, level of focus. So, he can do it. Again, I mean, like, he's been rested recently, so it's like he should be fresh, ready to go. And I mean, like you said, I mean, he's got to go, and let's go, dude.
Yeah, and let's do, Tony, a Thursday Frozen Frenzy.
Thirsty Thursday, dude. Needless to say, I feel like everyone's been thirsty for some hockey games. Home on the January New Year's Day 1st, dude. One game going on. Not even a specialty game, but there's a lot of games tonight, dude. Let's get started 7 p.m. Speaking of the Panthers, we're starting off in Florida with the Panthers. They're taking on the Hurricanes, dude. Carolina plus 105 here. Plus money, Carolina. Not a lot of plus money. There could be some value over under 5.5. Florida has beaten the Hurricanes 2 times already this season. In pretty dominant fashion, outscoring them 12-3 in those 2 games. And obviously, Panthers really not looking back since then. What do you think here for the third and final meeting regular season?
Yeah, I mean, kind of interesting. They go for the sweep. The Hurricanes have lost 3 out of 4. Surprising losses to Columbus and Nashville.
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting. And it just, to me, it feels like, even though I know Carolina's going to be okay, it just seems like it's just tough to go to Sunrise, beat the Panthers, especially after they had been struggling. And, of course, everybody's get-right spot right now has been the Rangers. They beat them last time out. Obviously, a step-up competition here. But I just think better team, home environment, I think they get the job done. Also, Hurricanes 8-9-2, so have struggled away from the Lenovo Center.
Yeah.
So give me the Panthers here. I'm going to say 5-3. So we'll go Panthers in the over.
Panthers and the over, so tough, especially when those first 2 games went over. I don't know. That was, I feel, kind of a tough time for the Hurricanes. At that moment, they were struggling. Panthers were in a get-right spot. And not for nothing, they played the Panthers on back-to-back days, which is kind of funny. So I say Carolina Hurricanes steal one here. Give me Kochetkov with a shutout, to be honest. Second of the year. Panthers, you speak of the couple, unfortunate losses, weird losses the Hurricanes had. Panthers getting shut out the back-to-back games, before they play the Rangers. Kind of weird there. So they shut out again here. I think Hurricanes low scoring. And why not, dude? The lone goal, Jack Roslovic.
Dream season continues.
Yep, 1-0 Hurricanes. Moving on, 7 p.m. from Jack Roslovic, a former Ranger, to the current Rangers. We go to MSG as they take on the Bruins. You know the deal. We laid it up. Knock him down, Brian. Rangers at minus 115. Over under is 5.5. First time these two teams are meeting each other this year, which is pretty interesting. This deep in.
Yeah, we talked about it before, trying to speak it into existence, and just for everyone out there who might watch this later and say, "Oh, I'm crazy for suggesting this." I'm just kind of going out on a limb. It's a law of averages thing. Nothing has shown me recently that the Rangers will beat the Bruins tonight, but I'm just thinking the nostalgia of Jonathan Quick in that rivalry game, team reeling, Tony. So I'm going to say 28 of 28, a 1-0 Ranger victory. Will Cooley with 3 minutes remaining in the third period. Rangers and the under.
Oh my God, it's so tough not to hop on that train. I mean, why not, dude? Jonathan Quick, by the way, who has 2 shutouts this year already. Let's make it a third, dude. The 1-0 is tough. I'm going to say 2-0, I guess. Empty netter. Let's say, why not? With that lone goal, give me the Philip Hedl. Philip Hedl with the lone goal. What are you going to say, Brian?
I was going to say, I was talking to Alan yesterday. He mentioned the shutout. Yo, I haven't been listening the last couple of days. How many shutouts y'all doing? And I was explaining, it's not every time. It happens sometimes. Hockey's hard to predict. That one's for you, Alan.
Let's fucking go, dude. Let's go Rangers too, baby. Next game, we're sticking on the East Coast here. DC, the Capitals. DC, dude, taking on Minnesota Wild here. Minnesota coming in here plus 135. Obviously, Capitals, great team. So's the Wild, by the way. So it's a pretty good matchup. Over-under is 5.5. Also the first time these two teams will be facing each other. Both teams, winners of 3 of the last 5. Both teams have win columns amongst the 20s here. So, all right, great matchup. What do you got, dude?
First matchup of the season, Tony. And it's tough because I really have respected, what the Wild have done. Kind of one of those under-the-radar team this year. The Eriksson X of the world.
Yep.
The Grizzled Vets getting the job done. But Ovi's back. The Capitals, I feel like, just have this energy that we haven't seen in years. So I think they get this job done here. I think close game throughout, pull away with an empty netter at the end. So I'm going to say, give me the Capitals winning this one 4-2, and that would be the under?
4-2 would be the over, dude.
There we go, the over, dude.
Over. I mean, I do like the Caps here. Wild, obviously injured with Kaprizov there. So, like you said, Ovi's back. They're playing great since they hoisted the cup. This is like the best they've played. So, give me Ovechkin, 2 goals, the assist. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. I say Caps go on. Definitely the over, too. I say they win. I'm going to say, would you say 4-2?
Yeah.
All right, I'll echo your sentiment there. 4-2. Let's go, dude. Next game here, we go to Columbus. The Blue Jackets taking on the Red Wings. Still 7 p.m. here. Nationwide Arena, Detroit, plus 105. The over-under 6.5 here. Another matchup that we're seeing for the first time this season, dude. It's pretty wild. Let's say Red Wings, the back-to-back wins right now, beating Washington and Pittsburgh. Which actually is stringing on a couple good wins here for the Red Wings. They could be heating up at the right time. Blue Jackets also coming off their shootout win against Carolina. Who's hot tonight, Brian?
This is kind of one of those things. These things come organically, Tony, but the Columbus Blue Jackets have become one of our favorite underdog type of teams here. Merzlikins, Marchenko. I think they steal the show here once again. No shutout, just so Allen takes it easy. But I'm going to say Blue Jackets win this one 3-1. 2 goals and assists for Marchenko and Merzlikins. Sam Rosen beaming. I'm going to say 38 of 39 Blue Jackets in the under.
I think I'm going to take the Red Wings here tonight, dude. I just think Dylan Larkin heating up the back-to-back wins. At home here, too, going back on the road against Columbus. But, hey, their home record actually is kind of good for Columbus, 12-4-3. All right, I'll pick Columbus, dude. Fuck off. Marchenko.
Team on the rise.
Hat trick. Why not, dude? And, again, that home record is what kind of did it for me. They're doing well at home. I can see that. I can see why as well. And, obviously, youthful talent, Marchenko, the hat trick. No shutout. Columbus 3, Blue Jackets 1. Columbus and the under. Next game, keep chugging along here. Plenty of games to get through here. We go to New York, baby. UBS Arena. We're back in New York. Islanders against the Maple Leafs. Is it the first time these two teams are meeting each other? No! It's the last time. And they're split at 1 here for the third and final matchup. Money line -110 for both teams. Over under 5.5. Both teams kind of middling, I suppose, as of late. What do you got?
It looks like Austin Matthews is going to miss this one, right? It says January 4th.
Yeah, still on the IR. Yep.
Do you think there's a tribute video for Tavares? He's already been there.
Yeah, they don't like him, dude. Absolutely not, dude. They'll spit on him, yes.
You think they're still not over it?
No, they're not. They're not.
And that's tough for them because not only are they not over it, but the fact is they're not winning this one either. 14, 17 this year just have been the model of inconsistency. And I think Toronto is going to dominate this game. I think have no problem scoring. Without Matthews, I don't think it matters. Mitch Marner maybe getting in the mix, Tony. Tavares as well. That's an anytime goal, I think, for Josh B.
Absolutely.
Coming home. But I'm going to say 5-2. So give me the Maple Leafs and the over.
Yeah, I like that call there. It's interesting. Both teams almost like have the notoriety of blowing the third period. But Toronto, you speak of, Austin Matthews being out. He's got 23 points in the season. Jonathan Tavares, 38, dude. 19 apiece for goals and assists. And I say he gets a goal and assist tonight to make it 20 apiece as the Maple Leafs go on to win this game. I'll say 3-1. No offense for the Islanders. Next game, let's go to Dallas Stars taking on the Senators of Ottawa. That is, we're in the 8 p.m. time slot now. This is the first time the two teams are facing each other. Yeah. And the over-under here is 5.5. Dallas minus the 190. They've won 3 out of the last 5, but hey, so has Ottawa. Stars, I don't know. What do you think here?
Yeah, give me Ottawa, honestly. I like the upset spot. I know they've been spotty on the road, but doing well recently. And I just feel like the plus 160, and I don't try to get trapped by the odds here, Tony, but it just seems like it's a good thing to throw a wrench into. And maybe Kachuk has a nice game, and if he's going to be in Ottawa, he might as well produce, right? So I'm going to say a close game, but give me the Senators here with the upset, 3-2 Senators in the under.
I like the underdog spot here too, dude, but good value only if they're winning, dude.
I say it all the time.
I think the Stars are going to be winning this one.
What
the
good
value
are the
is
odds
there,
if you don't win?
dude. American Airlines Arena, the home record 14-5-1. They get bumping there, dude. The cowboy hat spraying in the crowd. Give me the Dallas Stars, dude. I think it could be kind of chalk here. I think a classic, maybe 4-2, 5-2 victory for the Stars. All around good job here for the first time of their meeting here. So Stars and the over. Next game here is going to Winnipeg now as the Jets take on the Ducks, dude. Who's going to be flying here? Anaheim plus 230, Brian. On the money line, over under 5.5. Ducks did win against the Jets early December 3-2, and they are also on a 2-game win streak, beating Edmonton, beating New Jersey. Are they hot right now?
Yeah, this is definitely compelling. And while I would like to take the Ducks here, I think it's one of those things, like almost what we just were talking about. What good are the odds?
Yeah.
You don't win. So I think, you got to have some restraint here to realize that, even though we do like the Ducks story and the XLR story as well, Tony. But the whole thing is, I think the Jets are a far better team. They've proven that this year. I think Hellebuck, maybe not a shutout, but I think the Jets are going to win this one. Let's say 4-1. So let's go with the Jets in the under.
I think I'm going to take the dog here, to be honest, dude.
Wow.
Not a tight dog. It's a big dog here at plus 230. We've seen the Winnipeg Jets in those 11 losses they have and one overtime loss have some significant kerfuffles against not-so-good teams. And I think Ducks hot at the right time. I don't know if Gibson's getting the start here. I kind of got a feeling that he would, but I don't know. Regardless, Dostal, Gibson, are going to have outlying games here. Jets struggling to score, even though they'll have 42 shots on net. Ducks, did I say Ducks struggling to score? Jets struggling to score. Ducks will score a lot, dude. And I guess, I don't know, Terry, why not? Spreading the wealth here. Ducks, I want to say in overtime, to be honest. They win 2-1. So
All-time
Ducks
classic.
and the under, all-time classic is right over there at the Canada Life Center. Now let's go over to the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, as they get ready to take on the Buffalo Sabres here. Buffalo, speaking of value, plus 175, over under 6.5. Avs beat this team early December 5-4, high scoring. And the Avalanche right now are also on a 5-game win streak. And you know who's not? The Buffalo Sabres. What do you got here tonight?
Yeah, so this is an easy one for me. I'm going to say Avalanche 9. No, I'm just kidding. Not 9. But I would say give me the Avalanche 6-2. I just think the Sabres and Lindley Ruff don't stand a chance here. So give me the Avs and the over.
I love that call on the Avs, and I think Sabres former captain Casey Middlestat for the Avs, 2 goals and an assist, pumping his fist. Bowen Byram, I don't know if he's going to be even on the score sheet tonight. Avs and the over. Next game, 4 games left, going to Calgary, back to Canada. Scotiabank Style Dome, you know the deal. Flames, Utah Hockey Club they're taking on. Looks like Calgary here is even on the money line, over under 6.5. Utah won 5-1 way back in October here. And the Utah Hockey Club struggling as of late, dude. Let's see where they are. On a 5-game losing streak. Does that losing streak follow them in to Calgary here?
No. I think this is a get-right spot. Hoover Dow, Hoover don't, Hoover do. I think Utah, wins a tight, low-scoring game. Maybe a 1-1 game going into the third. They end up winning 3-2. Keller, the game winner in overtime. So give me Utah and the under.
I think I'm going to go Calgary, honestly, and the under. Wolf has been, a great goaltender for the Flames, so I think he's a big reason why they win. 35 saves on the night off of 37 shots. Flames win 3-2, and all of those goals, Nasem Kadri. Let's go Flames and the under, dude. Next game, 3 left. Let's go to Vegas. I'll Golden Knights take on the Flyers. You know the deal. Tortorella coming in here. I think probably maybe feeling good. Just beat San Jose 4-0. Golden Knights, after going on a little bit of a win streak, just lost to Montreal 3-2. You think Vegas comes in here in Vegas and they get the job done?
I know, we've seen upsets like this before, but I'm going to say not tonight, honestly, because I just think Golden Knights far better, 15-4 at home. I think disappointing loss last time out, if I'm not mistaken. Flyers just hanging in there at 17-17. So I think Vegas will be able to impose their will here, and I think they ultimately win this game 5-2. So give me the Knights and the over.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, dude. Knights in the over. It's chalk here. I think probably high scoring again, to be honest, like the last game, 5-4. I'll say 6-3. Golden Knights and the over.
Josh B should take the over?
Josh B definitely take the over.
Parlay it with the Knights.
He could parlay it if he wants. Yeah. Next game here is going to Seattle Kraken at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be taking on the Vancouver Canucks, the Climate Pledge Arena here. Vancouver underdogs plus 105 now, actually, it looks like, which is pretty interesting. Over-under is 5.5. Why are the Canucks underdogs? I don't know. Could be perhaps that early or late December. Kraken won in OT 5-4. Canucks kind of struggling, losing 4 of their last 5. Only team they beat, San Jose. Kraken on the back-to-back wins. Obviously, the first one being against Vancouver. What do you got?
Classic game, shootout game. But we're going to go with Quinn Hughes, dude, with the game winner in the shootout. 3-2 Canucks. Canucks and the under.
I love that call. The revenge spot here, in this, I guess, aquatic battle between the Canucks and the Kraken. I say they do get revenge. Canucks, not in regulation, but not in a shootout in overtime. I'm going to double down here with Jake DeBrusk for the game-winning goal. Bless you. Canucks and the under. They win 3-2. Next game, last game, potentially best game, San Jose Sharks. We go to the SAP Center at San Jose as they take on the Tampa Bay Lightning, dude. T-Bay, minus 275. They handled the Sharks early December. 8-1 was their margin of victory there. And since then, Lightning really haven't looked back. Sharks, speaking of losing streaks here, they've lost 8 in a row. Is it
9
after tonight?
You know, it's so hard to go against the 9. I have to take the Lightning. I want to take the Sharks. I think they're going to snap that losing streak soon, but it's not going to be tonight. I think maybe not the dramatic margin of last time, but I'll say 5-2. So give me the Lightning and the over.
Lightning shut out easily 4-0.
Nice.
Chalk it up. San Jose goes down for the 9th time.
And just like that, that is your Thursday Frozen Frenzy. A lot of games on the docket.
A ton of games, dude.
Yeah.
More than
9. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting if the VPN works and the Rangers play well. I mean, that'll be something to watch. A lot of good stuff to actually watch later. I'm actually pretty pumped and have a nice, relaxing evening. Feet up, horizontal, as John would say.
Yeah, it does. That sounds great for a nice little Thursday, dude.
What do you got in the docket today, later on?
We have our DTV meeting after this. You know, nice kick off the year. You know, right?
Yeah.
You know, talk about what we want to do, whatnot, which is always great. And then I'll be probably do some editing, maybe get some food in me. I don't know what though. And then I guess tonight at we're watching the Rangers for sure. And
maybe the horseshoe, or you don't want to get that hammered. You don't even have the bite?
Well, I'm thinking about it now. You got me thinking, you know, I'm kind of distracted. I mean, maybe. I mean, if Jeff is working and the pool table is open because they've been having it closed for the holiday, then it may be like a Rangers game at the Horseshoe.
Get hammered. Yeah. Wow. Get out.
That would be actually kind of nice, I suppose. Maybe a little Southport pizza beforehand. Or even just dinner at the Shoe, to be honest.
Yeah.
A burger, dude. I feel like Mike would be down for that. I feel like Mike's been craving a nice hamburger.
Interesting.
You know?
Interesting. I forgot. Do you like Five Guys or no?
I really enjoy Five Guys, to be honest.
I never
dude.
have it anymore, but it's so good.
It really is. I never have it either, dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I feel like when it first came out, I wasn't really that into it, to be honest. Because I thought it was just like kind of sloppy, the bag of fries, a little soggy. But their burgers are good, dude. And you get it loaded up, it's solid, dude.
Yeah, I like all the like toppings that like they don't charge you extra for.
Yeah,
like, they're all like just give me everything.
And the dogs, they have delicious
I
hot dogs.
have not
dude.
had a hot dog or a milkshake there.
Wow, I can't tell you the last time I had a milkshake there, but they're dogs because they split them down the middle and they grill them that way like butterfly. And it's and you get cheese and bacon and mustard on it. It's so good, dude.
Yeah, no, that sounds.
And actually,
unbelievable.
last time I was there was after the TCA tailgate at Jet Stadium, dude.
Wow.
Because Mike and I came back here, went right to Five Guys.
Okay, gotcha.
And we watched the final plays of the game. Actually,
wow,
I had Five Guys.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was
Zach
kind of
Wilson,
sick, dude.
Oh,
Dude, you should have seen us in Five Guys. We were the only two in there. Fucking burgers, and we were like, yeah, and then it was no, dude.
15-10 New England. Yeah, that was definitely a tough one. But I guess they're all tough these days for the Jets, and we'll talk about how they're probably going to get dominated tomorrow against Miami, Snoop Huntley or not. But so just some college stuff wanted to mention here.
Yes.
You know, I did watch both of the games in great detail yesterday. But the 2 overtime thriller, Tony, at the Peach Bowl. We saw the Texas Longhorns come back from the dead multiple times to win 39-31 in a game that they led 17-3, had a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter, and just could not hold off Scatterbo and this Arizona State Sun Devil team. I mean, it was quite the comeback, quite the valiant effort. And there were just a few things that really, made the difference in this one. You want to talk about, we had been talking about this in the NFL, the missed kicks. Texas had 2 kicks in the fourth quarter that could have won them the game. And they were both like within 40 yards. Burt Auburn struggling a little bit with the right foot there. And then also Arizona State, missed a kick. I think it was in the third quarter. Karsten Kiefer, and it was only like a 36-yarder, partially blocked. So that came into play a ton, as well as a questionable, it was clear as day, end of regulation, Arizona State kind of scrambling to get in the field goal range. And this guy, they've had like 4 kickers this year.
Oh, wow.
So they haven't, found any type of consistency in the kicking game. So they really needed to get like within like 40 yards or whatever. They were more on the 50-plus range. So they ultimately, ended up having to, punt the ball away. But there was a call where, it's clear head-to-head contact, but they didn't call targeting. And that could have cost the Sun Devils a chance at winning this game. Overtime, though, was exciting. You saw Texas go out there, score right away. And, for those of you who aren't familiar, with the college overtime rules, what it is, both teams get a possession. There's no clock. You do have 2 timeouts. But you start at the 25, and then from there on in, you have an opportunity to score a touchdown. So both Arizona State and Texas scoring, and you had a Scatterborough 3-yard run, and then Texas answered back a 28-yard pass from Quinn Ewers on 4th and 13, Tony.
Wow.
So the drama high for this
Fourth
one.
down.
Then you flip around, second overtime. The team that got the ball second gets the ball first. And Texas, first play from scrimmage, Quinn Ewers to Gunnar Helm from 24 yards out. And they get the 2-point conversion to Matthew Golden. And then Arizona State, it was like first or second play from scrimmage in the second overtime, throwing the interception to give the Longhorns the victory, the trip to the national semifinal where they face off. I believe it's going to be against Penn State, if I'm not mistaken. But just an all-time legendary game. Quinn Ewers, kind of much maligned, I thought played pretty well. 322 through the air, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Made the big play when needed. And also, they got a help from their special teams here. Silas Bolden, a 75-yard touchdown in the first quarter. So despite those kicking woes, they got big plays when they needed to. And it's a shame. And I think he was like sick during this game and kind of struggling with the emotions. It looked like he was cursing at his teammates. But Scatterbo, he actually won most outstanding player of this game. 30 carries, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and even threw Tony a 43-yard touchdown.
Crazy.
So that was pretty cool. The Cinderella comes short. But I have to say, I think this was finally what we were looking for. And obviously it took a while to get there, with Arizona State, trailing by 2 touchdowns early on. But this was finally the close game with a team, that's a double-digit underdog. So I thought this was, outstanding football, the high drama. You love to see it, and right in the middle of the day, 1 o'clock on New Year's Day, I think. The timing of that game worked well. And I am mistaken, actually. So Texas will play Ohio State, which is a good segue. They dominate the Ducks at the Rose Bowl yesterday, 41-21. A game where they just absolutely shredded Oregon from the jump. I believe led 34-0 at one point before Oregon was able to score a last gasp touchdown there as the clock expired at the end of the first half. But just a completely different Buckeye team than we saw 2 games ago, when they were upset, the big upset of the year, Michigan taking them down, but kind of continuing their ways when they won by a few touchdowns over Tennessee. Just completely dominant. Will Howard, one of his best performances of the season, 17 of 26, 319, 3 touchdowns. And then, Jeremiah Smith, the true freshman, Tony, before the game, kind of almost calling out Oregon to say, like, they're not ready for him, this and that. But, I mean, he delivers in a big way. I mean, just so fast. He just absolutely could not be covered. It's crazy that he'll have to play 2 more years in college. But, I mean, what a performance. 7 for 187, 26.7 yards per catch. So he had 2 touchdowns, and then Emeka Egbuka also had 5 for 72 and a touchdown. And it was just too late for Oregon. They end up scoring 3 touchdowns, even though they hold Ohio State to 7 points in the second half. Just not enough. So Dylan Gabriel, his college career ending with the record 63 starts. And he actually played decent in this game, 29 of 41, 2 touchdowns, but no running game. Jordan James, their leading rusher this year, left with an injury, so that put him behind the 8 ball. And then Tez Johnson, their leading receiver, only 5 for 32, while you saw Trayshawn Holden catch 7 for 116, 2 touchdowns. Mark was so tight because he picked him to do, instead of anytime touchdown, he picked him to first touchdown, and it would have been like $25, Tony, to pay out, or $30 to pay out $750. And like, I'm sure the anytime touchdown was a lot less, but it was just a point. Like, of course, he doesn't get the first touchdown, but then he has a massive game, gets 2 touchdowns. Like, ridiculous. The prop bets, dude.
They'll get you.
But definitely shocking here, as Oregon, and I know Ohio State was a slight favorite, but an undefeated 13-0 team to get absolutely manhandled. I have to say, this is one that we both didn't see coming, and I guess some people had some choice comments on the reels about that.
Yeah, dude, for sure. And I mean, and I think, at this point now, people are thinking, I think, like, Ohio State is going to win it all, right? Like,
I mean,
at this point,
it's set up for them. You feel like they're better than Texas. You feel like they're better than whoever wins between Penn State and the winner of Notre Dame, Georgia. And it's just like, if their offense is going to be playing so free, and then on top of it, they could get the defensive performance that they got, especially in that first half yesterday, they are going to be tough to beat. But seeing Texas, and I know Ewers played well, and it's kind of a revenge spot. He was originally at Ohio State, Tony, before transferring to Texas, because he was buried on the depth chart. Kind of a revenge spot there, but the way that they played and the way Ohio State dominated, tough to think that Texas is going to be able to handle them. But then again, I mean, we thought that Arizona State had no shot of beating Texas, and they were, a field goal away from winning that game. So I guess you really never know what's going to happen.
You really don't, dude, especially in college football.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you really don't, though. It is kind of
and what I would say, dud second game, but the first game, I mean, the drama was high, and I hope we get that today, and as everybody knows by now, we were supposed to have the triple header yesterday, but because of the unfortunate terrorist attack in New Orleans, that game was postponed till this afternoon, so that's going to be a 4:00 start. The Sugar Bowl, Georgia, Notre Dame, obviously we broke that down yesterday, and I believe both of us, despite Uncle Richie's wishes, going with Regis's Fighting Irish here. But I think it's going to be an all-time classic. And I think today is going to be a great sports game. So you get that at 4:00. And then the game between Duke and Mississippi, that is the Tax Slayer Bowl. And because of the transfer portal, which, is somewhat surprising given, Duke was 9-3, but they lost their top 2 quarterbacks and their running back. So going with the third-string quarterback here. And then you have Jackson Dart making his last start for Ole Miss. Important time of the year for him. He's going to be moving on to the next level. So give, prospective teams some tape on him. Maybe, he's a guy right now that's projected to go middle rounds. Maybe he picks it up a notch and can find himself maybe at the cusp of getting into that first round. Maybe teams want to take a chance, get that extra fifth year of control with the fifth-year option. But he did have an outstanding year for Ole Miss. This season, 38-75 through the air, 25 touchdowns, 6 picks. So I mean, they are 17.5-point favorites. But I'm gonna say I think they win, but I think they win by like 14. I think that number is just high. We've seen it in the bowl games, and obviously transfers, this and that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's high scoring, 51.5. I'll go over on that. But give me Ole Miss. I'm gonna say winning this one. I'm gonna say 42-28. So that would be Duke plus 17.5 and the over. What do you think, Tony?
17.5 is a lot to cover for sure, dude. But was Arizona the one that had the big cover, right?
They covered. Oh no, but they covered on the other side of things. You know what I mean? They covered plus 13.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I guess the margin of victory. I guess we didn't have any dogs win.
No.
2 favorites won yesterday.
Yeah, one.
So much for the day of the dog, dude.
But they didn't cover.
Didn't cover. So what's the deal here? Same deal where it's like both these teams are 9-3, but different conferences, level of play,
ACC,
vastly different.
SEC, and then the Duke, the top 2 quarterbacks being out.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
So that's why I could never take them.
And then you would think too. You said it, Jackson Dart the last game,
draft stock. Hugging Lane Kiffin after his final regular season game. He's jacked up.
A lot to play for. I mean, I'd say Ole Miss takes it. Let's go Rebels. I say they cover, dude. And I think it could get a little ugly, to be honest. I say Duke scores, I don't know, let's say 17 points. Ole Miss, 34.
Okay.
Yeah. So cover in the over.
34-17. Isn't that 51?
Is it 51 exactly? 34-17.
The quick math, the one
dude.
thing from school that
so there it is,
excelled in. No, but so it's an under.
It's an under, yeah.
But you originally were thinking over, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I guess 51.5 is a lot, so.
All right.
Regardless, dude.
Fair enough. And then one more college thing before Tony's put out of his misery here. We mentioned Michael Butka had mentioned it from the top. UConn defeating DePaul in Chicago yesterday, 81-68. This is a game that they led by 21 at the half, so gave a little back as we moved into the second half. And then, of course, the McNeely injury. He only played 25 minutes in this one. We'll hope for good news on the MRI. He only had 9 points, 6 rebounds in this one. Alex Caraban, the captain, 18 points, 7 boards. And Solo Ball, who's really been improving as the weeks of the season have gone on here. 22 points, 7 of 9, Tony, from three-point range. So that's pretty good. And as a team,
9.
UConn, 14 of 29.
Stop it. You can.
48.3%. So UConn still has not lost since those 3 games in a row in Maui, and most likely will be moving up. You would think into the top 10, especially if they are able to defeat the Friars on Sunday. I would imagine they will be double-digit favorites in that one. That's going to be a 2:00 game.
Get hammered
on NBC, and I think Tony would need to be hammered to watch that one. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But and this one will be at Gamble Pavilion. Tickets as low as $51. And obviously the competition with the NFL. But the ESPN Power Index, Tony, 92.1% in favor of the Huskies.
I mean, there you go.
Providence actually 7-7 now, so really struggling this
7-7.
What would you give the percentage of a Friar upset Sunday at Gamble?
Would you say that UConn's at 92%, so that put them in 8%? I don't know. I would give them maybe like a 13% chance of winning, but I mean, it's pretty obviously it's just not. I don't know. It's just I don't think it's going to happen. And it's kind of funny that you say that they haven't lost a game since the Hawaii tournament.
Yes.
How many games has it been?
So they've won, I guess, 8 in a row because they're 11-3.
That's so funny, dude. Not for nothing. I just because I always think about like Dan Hurley being like, yeah, I would never do a tournament like that again. That didn't go on a run.
No, they'll probably win the tournament there next year. Because you know what I mean. He doesn't strike me as somebody, and I know Michael Butka, of course, would be privy to this, but he doesn't strike me as someone who's going to stand down from much, Tony.
Oh no, dude. Absolutely not.
So yeah, good to get the Huskies back in action. 3-0 in conference play now, and definitely an opportunity here to stretch that to 4 on Sunday. And then you look at the upcoming schedule. The 8th they will be at Villanova. The 11th at Georgetown before returning home for Creighton and Butler.
Nice, dude.
All games, conference games are always tough, but I think, all manageable, and the conference slate just gets tougher. Later in the year, a couple games, against St. John's as well as Marquette, who's right now number 8 in the country. Last question for you here, Tony. Would you rather see Providence succeed or UConn?
I guess UConn.
Okay.
Yeah, Hurley, like
there is a
legacy
little respect
dudes.
of Hurley. Respect.
Yeah, of course, dude. There is respect of Hurley. There's respect of UConn as a school and organization, sure.
Yeah. Our good old friend PBR Scott at the Horn, 89 by the way, says pretty cool for the first time in over 25 years. The Commanders got 11 wins in a season, something they never did with Dan Snyder as an owner. Glad he is gone. And how could you not be? This team was a joke. The lawsuits with the NFL, and just no chance of really competing. And then Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn have just completely turned this franchise around. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, dude, it really is crazy. Like what, that one change, and all of a sudden you just kind of do one good decision after the next, and all of a sudden you find your team in a good position. With a great record and, future in the quarterback position, and really a future for the whole franchise. Crazy. And even to put on top of that, the rebrand for the organization,
Yes.
like it really is
the football
crazy,
team,
dude.
the Commanders, the uniforms.
There's still talks of changing the name again.
Which is crazy.
Dude. And then, even the Dan Schneider thing, like what a oh my God.
Terrible. I don't know if you remember, there was this thing a couple of years ago where everyone was making fun of him because it was like after New Year's, and like he has a press conference probably after the season, and he goes, "You just want to start out by saying Happy Thanksgiving, everybody." Like dead serious. Like I don't know if he's an alcoholic or what, but that's just ridiculous. Or just that shot.
Yeah, you are so shot. Happy Thanksgiving. Like what?
Yeah. And then he also mentions Joe Gibbs was the best coach he ever had. 5 minutes on Gibbs, Tony.
I had nothing, dude. 5 minutes.
He actually he did,
coach Commanders. He was the best they ever had.
So he coached Doug Williams, I believe, when they won a Super Bowl. Might have coached Joe Theismann as well, but then came back. Of course, one of those things, the coach is going back, not finding the same success. And then, as you see on there, also owns a race car team. So I didn't know if he still was an owner, but 84
cool.
years young.
Wow,
so
dude.
Quite the run here for Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, good for him, dude. Good for him.
And I was going to ask you too. You think any chance a parallel with the Jets here? Seeing the fortunes
team
of an organization change 1 year, coach, quarterback.
I guess anything is possible. But I don't think this year. I don't think this would be the offseason where we see that change. I don't think. Though.
Yeah. Rex.
Probably, right?
Aspen was getting you hyped earlier.
I don't know what to think of Aspen, to be honest, really.
Aspen or Gordon and Larry?
That's tough, dude. I would say Gordon and Larry.
Yeah, I would say so as
well. Especially right now, Aspen is new. He's still fresh. Gordon and Larry are seasoned. They definitely who the hell they interviewed today?
Herm?
Yeah, exactly. Herm. There was you can tell he was a little nervous, I think, during the interview,
Yeah.
Which is fine. He did a great job filling in for Rick and Dave. The interviews he did do, Terry Collins, that was a great one, dude. And even any reporter you'd bring in, a tremendous conversation. And he's gonna be, he'll probably have his own show. He'll be like the next Ty Butler, basically. Yeah. So I have hope for him, but for the Jets, I don't have really any hope. I don't think.
Yeah, I would just like to see them. I don't care what round, if it's by a trade, just get rid of Rodgers and just get a young quarterback to try to build with a new coach. And I guess if Rex can have a seasoned offensive coordinator, I guess that could work. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see, dude. They're probably going to be interviewing a ton of people, so a lot of speculation. Pete Carroll in the mix, I'm sure.
Hopefully. And then I did forget another 9. The Knicks making it 9 in a row last night. 119 to 103 over the Jazz. Jazz 7-25 Knicks now 24-10, and Karl Anthony Towns continues to have huge games here. He dropped 31 last night for the Knicks. So, it's good to have, some positivity with New York sports. Obviously, once baseball starts, we'll get that. But with the way the Rangers have been playing, at least it's nice. There's some winning going on. But 31 points. How about 21 rebounds, Tony? That's pretty impressive stuff for Towns. So.
Yeah, dude, that's really impressive. 21's a lot, dude.
Yeah, so we'll see if the Knicks can continue this run, and I think Asman was actually talking about I think Richard from Queens actually called in, and he was saying the season's a complete failure unless they get to the conference finals, which you understand that. Obviously making it to the second round last year and 2 years ago, they wanted. It's time for a run, and they're gonna get a good litmus test, Oklahoma City on Friday.
Run.
So they are 27-5, so that should be a good game. Back-to-back games, though. Then they go to Chicago. A little easier test before returning home Monday against the Magic, the monogamy of the NBA. And that's really it for the monogamy of the NBA, Tony. But I had to say, good potpourri today. Like I said, looking forward to the golf, Kapalua, as well as the college football today, and hopefully, finally, a Ranger victory, because we all know we need it in the worst way.
Yeah, that is for sure, dude. And obviously, we know we'll be streaming the game illegally. But where can you watch golf today?
Golf is in Golf Channel.
Golf Channel.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the ESPN Plus starting at 12:30. So get the
Really,
smartphone
dude?
out.
Oh, there we go, dude.
Yes.
Noon 30.
PGA Tour Live, maybe
ESPN
Reed
Plus,
Fowler.
dude. Okay.
Starting out the new year in Hawaii.
All right, there we go, dude.
So we'll have to check that out as well and talk about that tomorrow. Last week of picks as we put the finishing touches on a dominant season over the TCA. Kev Duke can take it.
Yeah,
we know.
dude.
I can take it.
But once again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimezoo.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Rangers! And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.